Good evening, fellow monkeys. Tonight's human news is about a man who is no longer alive, but whose paperwork refuses to die. Humans have released another batch of Jeffrey Epstein documents. Yes, more. Somewhere in the human world, a filing cabinet just sighed. For monkeys unfamiliar with this story, Jeffrey Epstein was a rich human with a private plane, many powerful friends, and a criminal case that ended before many questions were answered. Since then, humans have been asking who knew what, who went where, and why nobody stopped it earlier. To answer this, the human government has been releasing documents. So many documents. Enough documents to make a rainforest nervous. This latest release happened this week. It added tens of thousands of additional pages to what is already millions of pages made public over the past year. These new files include previously unseen emails, contact lists, calendar entries, and investigative records from multiple agencies. Not new crimes, not new charges, new paper. Humans love paper. Here's what made this release different. First, some documents were released, with redactions removed or reduced. This means names that were once hidden are now visible. Important monkey note, a name appearing in a document does not mean a crime happened. It means someone wrote the name down. Humans online struggle with this concept. Second, the release included more internal government records, notes showing what investigators collected, how they organized information, and what they considered relevant. This matters because humans are now arguing not just about Epstein, but about how the government handled the case, which humans trust, slightly less than bananas left unattended. Third, there were redaction mistakes. This part made humans very angry. Some documents briefly showed information that should have stayed private, including details about victims. The Justice Department admitted errors and said it is fixing them. Survivors and advocates said this should never have happened. Monkeys agree. If you drop a banana and it hurts someone, you do not say, oops, and keep throwing bananas. Now let us talk about what humans are actually searching for. Names. Humans immediately scan the documents, looking for famous humans. Politicians, business leaders, celebrities. Some names appear multiple times, in emails or schedules. Some appear once, some appear because someone forwarded something. The documents do not say these people committed crimes. The documents say they were in contact or mentioned. This distinction is extremely important. It is also extremely ignored. Another thing humans learned from this release. Epstein was obsessive about records, calendars, phone lists, travel notes. He wrote things down. A lot. This is unusual behavior for someone allegedly trying to hide things. Monkeys observe that humans often mistake documentation for transparency. Sometimes it is just control. Now let us talk about the planes. Again, because humans never stop talking about the planes. Flight logs continue to be part of the released material. They show who flew, where, and when. They do not show what happened on the plane, but humans treat them like magic scrolls. Monkey translation. Plane list equals suspicion, but not proof. Still, humans refresh the page. One new detail from this release is how fragmented the evidence is. The documents were never meant to tell a story. They were meant to store information. Humans are now trying to turn spreadsheets into narratives. This is like trying to understand jungle politics by reading banana receipts. You can try, but you will lose your mind. Another major fact. Despite all these documents, the Justice Department has said again, there are no new criminal charges announced as a direct result of this release. Humans hate this sentence. They believe more paper should equal jail. But law does not work this way. Evidence must be specific, provable, chargeable. Gross does not always mean illegal. This makes humans furious. Now let us discuss why humans are still upset anyway. Because the documents reinforce what many already believed, that Epstein had access to powerful people for a long time, that warnings existed, that systems failed, that accountability arrived late and incomplete. Millions of pages do not change that. They confirm it. The most serious criticism of this release is not about celebrities. It is about victims. Advocates argue that dumping massive files without careful protection causes harm. Transparency should not mean exposure. Justice should not mean re-traumatization. This debate is now louder than the documents themselves. Monkey analysis time. Humans demanded transparency because secrecy felt like protection for the powerful. Now they have transparency and realize Raw truth is dangerous too, because information without context creates chaos, and chaos is excellent for clicks, but terrible for justice. Monkeys also notice something else. The Epstein story refuses to end because it represents something larger, not just one bad human, but how power circulates without oversight, how warnings are ignored, how consequences arrive late and miss most of their targets. No document dump can fix that. So what did this latest release actually give humans? More data, more names, more arguments, more questions. What it did not give: closure, clear villains, clean endings. Humans keep hoping the next release will finally explain everything. Monkeys have bad news. Paper rarely explains behavior. In summary for monkeys, more Epstein documents were released this week. They add detail, but not resolution. They show how messy the investigation was, how broad Epstein's contact network appeared, and how badly humans handle transparency. They do not end the story. They extend it, which is very human. That concludes tonight's human news. Tomorrow, humans will still argue about the same documents they did not finish reading. Monkeys will return to important work, like eating fruit, and not writing anything down. Good night. And please, do not keep calendars if you are doing weird things.